Hi everyone. 'Tis the kitty and I. She wants so bad to get into this, what I'm doing. And I just need to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Not quite, but almost. Okay, now, here we go. She is so interested in this whole thing here with thread. Thread is, I think, her thing. So I'm just going to sew across here a little bit. See how long this thread holds up. And there she goes. So that's very good. So we've had a little bit of a cold spell here. And the last I looked, it was only 109. So in the past few days, we've had like 118, 115, and like that. So it's been super hot. And on top of that, it got cloudy. And that makes my arthritis hurt so bad. So I'm in good shape for the shape I'm in. And this kitty, she's doing very well. She's very ornery. But I still come in and play with her. And that helps her. I'm using a pink kind of thread here. It's very pretty to me, kind of the palest pink. And I don't know, it doesn't really have the name on here. So the whole thing about schools opening or not opening, or online or in person, is up for grabs right now. I know that one of my granddaughters will go back to school. She thinks on the 17th for sure, which isn't far off. And another one is going to go back on the 17th, but that's a big maybe. So I'm not sure about any of the other schools here, because I only know about the two schools. For the younger group, they will not be going back to school. My daughter-in-law, bless her heart, has decided to homeschool. at least for a while, at least for part of a year. And because the schools can't really answer what it is that they intend to do if someone comes down with COVID in the classroom and they're discovered to be sick at school, which puts everybody in the class, including the teacher or teaching assistants, at risk. So they are, and you know, when it was talked about, hello, what can I do for you, dear? Sweet dear. When it was talked about, it was mentioned that maybe they could stop school for 2 weeks to stop the spread of it and make sure that if anyone else is going to get sick, then they will be at home in those 2 weeks. And I'm very grateful that I'm not teaching anymore, because I would be like the other teachers here. I would be afraid. I would be so afraid of getting it. Number one, reason why, I mean, other than who wants to get sick, I do not want to be on a ventilator. I just think that sounds like the most horrible thing. So that's one thing. And then not to be able to be around anybody that I know. It would only be the doctors and nurses, and I'm sure that they're fine people, but they have a job to do. Isn't that right, Olivia? Yes. She's just looking at me like, I'm sure that I can help you somehow over there. She's watching. And I think she might be learning how to do this. Are you learning? Are you going to be sewing now? She gets into my journal stuff, and when I see what she's been into overnight, I say, oh, I see you've been making journals. She is a character. She moves furniture. She has not yet moved this table, and I don't think that she can, but she has moved everything underneath it, everything on the floor. She's amazing. Aren't you amazing? Yeah? I think she's amazing. You cannot have that. You need to get down off my sewing machine. She just thinks this is fantastic. This is pokey right here. It would hurt you. And I have to use the thread that you so want to get a hold of. Okay? And if you keep on showing that much interest, I'm just going to give you some thread. And that will be good. That will be good. So I'm just hi. I'm just getting these journal covers ready for the journals that they're going to go on to. I'm kind of like, I can work on things for really hard for a while, and then I have to put it away for a bit, and then I get it back out. Now I've been watching Lori Marie Jenkins, again. You know, she's such a kind person. I really adore her, and how I got away from that was that I was interested in making these journals and journal embellishments. So that's how I got into that. Yeah. Jackson Galaxy has been a great source of information for dealing with these feral cats. But I still don't have, she's still not so that I would be okay with her running the house. And then there's the other kitty, who is just the dearest, sweetest little girl, 10-year-old girl. But she wouldn't even be able to defend herself against this one. This one has all her claws, all her teeth, and she's very young. You know, this one is just over a year, maybe. Oh, she's a year and a half now. So those things combined just makes me really afraid to let this one be running around the house everywhere and the other one trying to defend herself against Sugar. Sugar would be trying to defend herself against this one, and I wouldn't even really want to see that. I have learned that what cats do to defend themselves when they've been declawed like that is they bite. And she does give me little love bites, but it's just when I don't pet her according to her wishes. So she gives me a little nibble. She's not mean at all. So then we have two more that have taken up residence in the backyard. I hear you. And I think they're so cute. They are kittens. They might be a year old, but I doubt it. They might be 6 months old too. Yeah. Hi. Hi, dear one. Okay. Now what happened the other day, I found out with when I was making a video of the jelly prints, I knew that the video was about to go off. Well, it didn't go off. It only just stopped and started a new video, which that's a new thing for me. I didn't know. So I could have continued and made a part 1 and a part 2 in one sitting. You know. And that's pretty cool, I think. I think that's probably an update for an improvement type of thing. I'm not doing well here. Why don't I use my little tool? I have this little tool. Have you ever seen these? These are old-fashioned needle threaders. And I'll show you how it works. This thread is a little bit thick. But you put this little wire thing through the needle, and then you put your thread through the wire thing that you just put through the needle, and then you pull the thread through. And it's much easier to see, and it's much easier to use if your hands are not so good. So the one that I've been watching that does the slow stitching is, her name is Ann Brooks. Her channel is called Sew for the Soul, S-E-W for the S-E-W for like number 4, the soul. And she's really good. I think she's had lots of experience. So I haven't done a lot, but I've done a little of some things on here. Mostly pretty pitiful, except for the straight stitch. At least I can do a straight stitch. This one got better on the 3rd one. And then these are French knots. And I'm going to need a lot more. Excuse me, stop that. She has started scratching on anything and everything right there. She was just scratching on the wall, nothing else. So I'm going to have to, I bought her a scratcher. I bought her a toy thing scratcher. I bought her another toy thing scratcher. What are you doing over there? So she's just, she scratches at the door molding. She's really something, I'll tell you. Okay, back to the task. So Ann Brooks, Sew for the Soul. And I have learned so much from her. Plus it's like eye candy. Someday if I keep at it, maybe I'll make some eye candy. I doubt it. But it's fun. It's very fun. So for this time, if I should forget and go off and go get carried away with what I'm doing, basically is what I do, and the video goes off, I'll just call it part 1, and whatever I've got on the next video, it'll be part 2. Before it was several minutes over, and I was just looking at the time, and it was, several minutes over that 30-minute limit that it seems to give me. As far as I know, what I'm doing here is just tacking this down. I don't think it's any kind of a stitch for sure. So I'm hoping all of you in in Florida and up the coast in North Carolina and South Carolina and up further. I hope that you're safe and sound in your homes. I know that Janet talked about and showed pictures of the trees that were torn down right in her yard. But she said they didn't that the trees were torn down. I'll get this sentence out in a minute. It did not hurt their house. So for that, I'm grateful that no damage was done to her house. Although I can't see how you would keep from having damage when it looks like that. A lot of people put short clips of videos on Facebook of how it looked outside, the trees and that. So I'm just going to, I know I have some people in my group that are super sewers. Hi, can you hear her? I forgot to bring in the tablet for her videos. Yeah, you're so cute. Did you know that? You're so cute. Yeah, yeah. Are you looking at my hair? Ew, that's scary. That's scary. Or are you looking at the fan in the mirror behind me? I've also learned a lot from this rescue called Tiny Kittens, from the people that work on there, and Shelly, that is the owner of it. Are you just going to come right over here and get on screen? She tries to get up enough nerve to get right under here. Let's see how much time I have. Looks fine. It's very close, up close. I wonder if I was off camera this whole time. Were you yelling at me? Okay. So I told you about the grandkids' schools. And the weather that it's so hot here. And it's just the way it is. Hi, here she comes. Are you being funny? Yeah. Oh, I'm not used to being in here without the bird videos. So it feels very weird. So I won't be doing this all the time for it all on video. I'll just be, hi, what? Just once in a while. Once in a while to prove that it's fun even to do things badly. Hi. Are you meowing on video? Yeah. Well, that got a little knot, but I don't think it shows that much. So I'm just gonna knot this off for now. I like the double strands for the slow stitching. She recommends to use 3 strands of this kind of thread. Where are you going? I am not going to lay this down for you to get stuck in your paws, little girl. No, not for a minute. Not for a minute. Oops, poked myself. Okay, let's see where we are. Oh, we're not anywhere.